of just letting him be himself. Sorry, I accidentally hit the button there, so we're picking up right where we left off. But I think the Lakers have done a great job of picking, giving him these opportunities that he's needed. It's just simple as that. So, yeah, man, as far as the Los Angeles Lakers are concerned tonight, set them aside. They did not win. Give some credit to the Golden State Warriors because they did some really good things on their side. Jordan Poole, we already know the boy can score. We know he's capable of doing some fantastic things in the open court. We know that he finishes very well. All of that is cool. But I had no idea he facilitated this well. I didn't know that Jordan Poole could pass that well. I knew that he played the point guard. It's like I know that that's part of his game. But he's such a tall player and he's such a lethal scorer that you don't really consider the fact that he can also facilitate as well. What a dynamic young talent this young man is turning into. And you consider the fact that Klay Thompson was out there to just splash all over the place. A lot of the shots that Klay Thompson was able to get, those looks came from Jordan. So when you consider what that dynamic can be going forward in these playoffs, you got to just raise your level of confidence in the Golden State Warriors. Even though Steph is hurt right now and Wiseman won't be returning, you got to take a look at what you saw out there in that Golden State Warrior team tonight. And that's a team that had 39 assists. 39 assists on the night. That's a whole lot of team ball. That's a whole lot of effective scoring off of passes. And if they're going to pop the ball around like that, it'll make up for a lot of things that maybe they don't do well, like defend and have an enormous size out there and stuff like that. So I think Golden State is going to see. It's hard to say because I really do think the world of the talent around the Western Conference right now going into the playoffs. But I do think the Golden State Warriors, if they get the right matchup, they'll get out of that first round for sure. It's going to be tough though. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be tough for them, especially without a healthy Steph. But they have the depth to do some good things. Yeah, so Klay just shot us out the gym. He's starting to get his conditioning back. I think he was 5 for 6 or something like that. 5 for 6 from 3, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew Wiggins played really, really well. Made his presence felt on the defensive end as well as the offensive end tonight. So I thought that stood out. Draymond kind of coasted. He only had like 25 minutes, but he was able to fill up the box score in the areas that he does defensively and passing and rebounding and stuff like that. Bielitsa, I think he was 4 out of 5, scored very well. Didn't have the game he had in the previous game for his team, but he did what he needed to do to stay efficient. GP2 was out there doing some good things. Jonathan Kuminga, as I told you guys, you got to pay attention to him because he scores very, very easily. And he's going to be a very dangerous player going forward. And I thought that he and Wenyen Gabriel are comparable out there in the way that they scored the ball. They both get to the rim so very fast. They both have similar bodies. They're just very similar in a lot of ways, in my opinion. Obviously, Kuminga is a much more advanced player, but they have some similar strengths and weaknesses, and I thought that they were on display tonight, and really played well, both of those guys. So yeah, man, that was the Golden State Warriors for you. We don't think too much of this game, obviously, since we're out of the playoffs. But I just was really pleased with the effort that I saw. I got from the team what I expected to see. If you listen to my, or rather watch my pregame video, you will hear me say that I expected this game to be good in effort because of the double. The players that we have out there can do 50-50 stuff and just ultimately make the game kind of murky for the Warriors. But I thought we would ultimately lose by double digits because that's just what it is. Just going up against a team that's got a lot of talent and they're healthy for the most part. So they should be able to outclass us, and they did. But I thought we put up a hell of an effort. It would have been great if we could have shot a little better. I don't think we shot very well from 3. Don't think we shot very well from the paint. They were perfect from the line, so you must mention that. That's kind of what I have to say about that game. THT with 40 points, so obviously he's getting the game ball. No question about that. But it's just good to see him be able to have a game where he can just put up 28 shots. Because it's literally never going to happen with the big 3 on the floor. And you can see, like I was saying, he has a lot of Kuzma in him. Well, that's all Kuzma really needed, was just those guys to not be there so he could take the majority of the shots, so he could do things and get in a rhythm. And once he gets into a rhythm, one good shot begets two good shots, begets 4, 5, 6 for a guy like Kuzma. And I think THT is similar. Then it's kind of hard for players like that to play off the ball. It's kind of hard for players like that to get in a rhythm, playing out of rhythm. They need consistent looks, they need consistent shots. And I think if you give them that every night, you'll see them turn into what you think they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be complementary pieces. They're supposed to be guys that are grooming themselves to be main pieces. And I think that's ultimately what I think THT is going to develop into over the next several years. Remember Julius Randle and how difficult it was to watch him develop? All the mistakes that we watched him make, and some of those guys, THT is just another version of that. We're just still early. But as you can clearly see, he dropped 40 tonight. And I have no doubt in my mind there's more where that came from. No doubt in my mind. And I told you guys at the beginning of the season he hadn't had a lot of playing time. And we hadn't seen him play very well because of it. And the opportunities wouldn't be there because of the presence of those stars, and all of that stuff was working against THT. We know that. But I also told you guys that there was going to be a game sometime this season. I told you, somewhere down the line, he was going to show us what it is that everybody seen in him, which is why he got the contract he got. Not to mention the mistake that was made that we now know about, according to Eric Pincus. It's just a numbers mistake, but the point was they believe in this kid, and it was just a matter of time before the opportunity opened up for him to show us exactly what it is that they see. And I'm not too surprised, because he has been scoring better lately. Over these last several weeks, he's been popping a little bit more than usual on the scoring section, being a little more efficient than he had been. And it worked out tonight, man. It was a perfect storm for him to get a lot of shots up. So, happy about that. Now we go on and play another game. Who do we see? I think it's the Timberwolves next. I think that's how that goes. And that's going to be tough because they just clocked in their play-in tournament situation. But I think they're still trying to keep themselves above the 7th spot. I think that's how that worked. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if they could fall or not, but that will determine who they play and stuff like that. Because if they're already locked in their positioning, then I'm pretty sure they're going to rest their starters. But keep in mind, just a zoom ahead. Anthony Edwards had his 5th 40-point game tonight. So you understand that that's going to be somebody who's going to probably go for another one against us. So that's just a little sneak preview of that. But yeah, man, that's what it is. Lakers didn't get the win, but I don't care. As long as we get some young legs out there getting experience, that's a W for me. And that's what it is, man. Congratulations, THT, on a 40-point game. And that's what I got to say. BDF 44. Peace.